Hope you have slept well. We are going to go through, I guess, or what I guess is going to be our last class. Please feel free to raise your hand in case you have any questions. As remember, our theme 4 or 5 is about food, nutrients, vitamins, protein, and good and bad daily eating habits. We discussed some kind of food pyramids. We went through listening and we got introduced to the topic, what vitamins are, what is nutrients, energy, how we get energy, etc. We reviewed a few vocab. Last class was kind of introduction to the theme, but it was actually full of exercises that relates to writing a paragraph about food. We reviewed how to make negatives using auxiliaries. I'm just reviewing the slides that we went through. We remembered together the tag question rule, and we agreed that it is one of the easiest questions that we are going to face in the exam. We made few exercises and we went through them. We ended up with me asking you to form some questions. Yes, no questions, remember? And then we went through WH questions. This was the last vocabulary list we reviewed together. We tackled the finding the mistake question. I guess that was on page 144, and then we kind of found the connection between some vocab items. What is the connection between vegetables and fruit, apple and orange, etc. So I was mistaken, that was not the last vocab list. We tackled. We went through this exercise on the very same next page, 145. I asked you, we read this together. Tips about what to do with food, what we should eat for breakfast. I read it for you. We discussed what dairy product is. We agreed that giving up is important vocab we should remember and use. I give you this exercise to find or to guess the word before we finish it. Like sit, what we can finish, situation or sit, situated, yeah, etc. Now today we are going to finish theme 5. right? So let's go to vocab list. I remember I gave you some assignments last class. Now we will start with this vocab on the following page 149. We have a text to the left about salt, this important white material. And on the right, we have addictive, blood pressure, calorie, danger, fatty, heart attack, home cooked, processed, ready meal, recommended, salt, stroke, sugar. Now, addictive, blood pressure, fatty is the actual level of fat. The home cooked is homemade, something you make at home. Recommended, something that you advise people to do. Now we will read this together. Salt is very important for health, since I guess attendance is a kind of weak. I'll read. The brain needs salt for messages to the hands and feet, so your brain uses salt. The heart needs salt to work correctly. If people do not have enough salt, they sometimes die, so salt is important. Salt is also used for preserving food or keeping it fresh. Now we don't know, but earlier, 50 years ago or so, people used to use salt, and some places in the world they still use fish to store food, use salt to store food. In the past, salting was the main way to preserve meat. They didn't have refrigerators and fridges, but nowadays we do not need salt for this purpose. There are other ways of preserving food, like freezing, drying, and canning. Like what you see in the picture down. However, salt can also be very dangerous for young children and old people. If people have too much salt, they can develop high blood pressure. People with high blood pressure often have a heart attack or a stroke. Stroke is like something affects, like it's snowby. It can be dangerous. It causes death. Around 300,000 people in Britain die of heart attack and strokes every year. So this is not a few. According to recent research, most people eat too much salt every day. In 2001, people in Britain consumed 9.5 grams of salt every day. This is a lot of salt for daily intake. Nowadays, the average person in Britain eats 8.6 grams of salt each day, but the figure is still too high. The figure means the number. People only need about 6 grams of teaspoon. What is the answer? First, stop. How to do or what to do? Stop eating salt. Or stop putting salt, because nobody eats salt right away. And don't buy ready meals from supermarkets. They say it has a lot of salts. Processed food contains, if you make food at home, this is healthier. From the text, we need to extract two nouns, one verb, one adjective, as you can see. One adverb, the subject, the verb, the object. Now we need, or later we will move to finding two pieces of advice. We cannot say two advices because it's uncountable. Two past facts, something was correct in the past, and two statement of frequency, something that is keep happening. Okay, so we are on page 149. Read the text about salt. Okay, we can answer this together. Two nouns, salt and brain. One verb, verb to be is, or regular verb needs. One preposition in at of two in the third line. One adverb. Adverb can be correctly, most of the time adverbs ends with ly, with few exceptions like fast, well. The subject, salt is very important. The subject. This is I'm talking about the paragraph in general, but if you want to stick to the first sentence according to the question, salt and health. One verb is, adjective, important prepositions for, one adverb, verb. Study the second sentence. The subject is the brain, the verb needs, object, salt. Now, why salt is important? Why does the brain need salt? The answers are listed for you. Two pieces of advice: don't eat salt down, cut in your intake. Don't buy processed food. Two past facts: people used to store food. People used to consume salt down in the last paragraph, or British particularly. Statement of frequency: any sentence that can have or that has, often, usually, every day. For example, down, people in Britain consume 9.5 grams of salt each day. This is a frequency statement. Now, if you go down, you have if you go to the next page, we have on 150, we have phrases that are fixed. We need to use them. And food is something we always talk about daily. If you are married, your wife will tell you, what are we eating today? I mean, in the Arabic culture, tell you, what should I cook today? This is a question you should prepare yourself to meet every day if you are going to take the step of marriage. You say piece of bread, bar of chocolate, glass of usually wine, or water or juice. Saturated fats, دهون مشبعة, something that we should avoid. Low fat, snack, low fat food, fatty foods, junk food, eat between meals, something that is, if people argue about it is good or bad, we don't know. For sure, reduce the portion store. Yeah. Now, remember I gave you a question or a text to read on page 151. I told you those highlighted words in yellow are very important. Who can answer?